Hi folks, Chef Ian here, and we're in Cook's Collective and Kitchen 101. A couple of people have asked me, Chef, I can't cook rice. My rice turns out gluggy or overcooked, or it just turns into just mush. What's the secret? Look, it's a pretty simple technique for doing steamed rice, and we're going to go through that here today. So what I've got is my little pot. I've got 1 cup of jasmine rice in there. Okay, so first thing we're going to be doing is with our rice, we're going to be washing our rice. So what we're trying to do here when we're washing our rice, we're just getting rid of a lot of that starch that's in there. If you don't do this step, you will get really gluggy rice. So it's important. I sort of wash my rice when I'm doing this, be it if it's in a pot or if I'm using a rice cooker, probably at least half a dozen times. So until you sort of see that water run clear. And it's important too, don't just run the water on it. Use your hand, really get in amongst the grains and just ensure that all the rice is getting rinsed off, so to speak. So we're getting close. I can see that already now that, you know, the water's not as cloudy as what it was. I reckon one more will probably about do it. So that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to strain all that off. Okay. So the next one, people asked me, said, okay, so I've done all that. How much water do I need to put in? This technique was something that my mum taught me very early on, and I've followed this my whole career. So what I'm going to do is just show you. I'm going to put the water in, and I use my finger as a guide, and I put it in, and she always said to me, the water should sit basically on your first joint. So that's probably a little bit more than I need. Just make sure that rice is all even. So if you're making sure that, as I said, that rice is even. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the method I've always used, and it always turns out. So we've got our pot. What we're doing now is that we're going to bring our rice up to a boil. So we're just going to go on full heat on this until that water boils. So it's going to take a couple of minutes. So let's take a bit of a short break and we'll come back when we've got to that next stage. Okay, welcome back. So as you can see, our water has come to the boil. And as you know, I've had a lid on that. So it's important that you do have a lid. Once we get to this stage now, it's turn the heat down, and all we want is just a low simmer. We just want to let that rice cook gently, undisturbed. Leave the lid on. You can let this go now. Just make sure, again, you've got it on a simmer for at least 6 to 8 minutes. So we're just going to let that do its job, and then we'll come back in about 6-7 minutes time and have a look at the result of what we got to. See you soon. We've let our rice settle, and I'm just using my spatula now here just to check things out. And we're just going to just gently just work through this. But what we're seeing here now is what you're really wanting. All the rice grains are separate, all cooked beautifully. So basically from 1 cup of rice, you'll get, I'd say here at least 4 decent sized portions. So to give you an idea of what you can do. But again, if you've overcooked and you cook too much rice, put it in a little container, put it in your fridge, zap it through the microwave, it'll reheat perfectly. So There's no harm if you, as I said, have overcooked it, don't throw it away. If you turned it into glug, however, best thing I could suggest you do with that, maybe turn it into rice pudding. That's always a good excuse for leftover overcooked rice. So that's our Kitchen 101, how to cook steamed rice. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Just as I say, follow the techniques in that, and you're going to get perfect rice every time. See you next time. Cheers.